You know, in the old cartoons gags, they'd have like a long cane and they pull you off stage.
Is that where we're going?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Dan, bring out the giant cane.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks
I love
for
you
coming
guys.
out for us. Thanks for coming. I love you too, buddy.
I love you.
Yeah.
And you have an open invitation a couple hours.
What's
Email
the address?
Me. It's the Peninsula
No,
Hotel.
don't say it.
Oh, beep. You know where
Sorry,
I'm
I
at.
shouldn't have set you up on that.
You can email me if you want.
All right, Jimmy. God
Thank
bless
you,
you.
kids. I love you.
Thank you,
Peace
everybody.
and love, and
It's been-
H3H3 rocks.
Thank you.
And of course, once he leaves, they talk shit about him.
I didn't want to be too rude. That was what
You did.
I was
I thought
worried about.
you had the perfect tone, though.
Really?
I think
Oh, yeah.
meeting a meme is always a risk.
Right.
You don't know what you're getting into.
I don't like. I can't sit in a room with Jimmy for like 2 hours.
Heart of
I
the
think
brand
our
at this
biggest
point.
mistake was not bringing any cringe
We should have.
gear.
We should have come in a hazmat
Did
suit.
the hazmat suit. for
We should
sure.
have put his ass in a hazmat suit. Like with Jimmy, I'm like, I hope it works out, and then half of me's like, I hope it doesn't work out, so I don't have to sit in there and deal with this shit.
And what makes this perfect is that during the interview, Ethan made it seem like the guy was racist, that his jokes, that were clearly jokes, were racist. And then 5 minutes after the old guy leaves, he says this.
Rationale for banning dabbing.
There it is.
That was a brutal dab. He held formation for
It's like
a
a
minute.
scary dab.
Hold on.
That was like a fucking jihad dab. That was like a fucking straight up
Let's
Allah
see.
Akbar dab.
Here we go. We're going in slow-mo now.
Wind up.
Whoa! Damn.
Dude, that's when the bombs go off.
I treat my answer really. I just treat people with the same respect they give me at the end.
Right.
Don't want to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
It's just that's me.
Okay, so Jimmy Lee had a very small following, if any at all, so Ethan felt that he could act that way toward him and he would get minimal backlash. But what happens when he treats another YouTuber with disrespect? Well, this is William Osman. He's an engineer who makes very creative and very interesting videos. Now, a while ago, his house actually burned down, and obviously that was a pretty, devastating experience for him. But one of the projects that he was working on was a beanie that talked, and it was made for Ethan specifically. And that video garnered a lot of attention, and finally, after about 5 months, William was invited onto the podcast. However, there was one small little issue with William's channel. He only had 600,000 subscribers. You see, when you look back at all of the YouTubers that have been on Ethan's podcast, there is not a single one with less than 1 million subscribers, except Eric from Internet Comment Etiquette, which is a great channel, and you should check it out. But he is included always with Jack's Films, and Jack's Films obviously has a lot of subscribers. So he's kind of supplementary, And as well, Eric obviously is well known for bouncing on his boy's dick.
PewDiePie did nothing wrong.
Come the fuck on. It's not a multi-layered fucking issue. Don't say the N-word.
It's
Just
not
don't
that
say it.
complicated.
But other than Eric, William was the first person to be invited onto the podcast with less than 1 million subs. For once, Ethan opened the doors for someone who was up and coming. So why do I say this is an issue? Because he wasn't given a full episode. He was given a 20-minute time space on an episode.
They said we're going to be on for like 20 minutes. That doesn't make me feel like a very special guest, but sort of a temperate, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like supplemental to whatever show. So what we've learned is that we're not exciting enough.
Creeps online. I'm gonna teach these kids a lesson.
And when you watch the episode, there is very little substance to this hour-long episode of the podcast, and William could have easily filled that time.
This is a very mediocre episode.
We're just sitting here.
Every time it's like, this is the best episode. No, this is a very mediocre episode. Let me be upfront with you.
But, okay, whatever, 20 minutes is still better than no time at all, right? So let's just see what they talk about.
So the story of this beanie's creation is also an interesting one. Interesting, nice word for tragic one.
I'll show you the fridge. What we got?
That's the fridge.
Oh, where's that?
Fuck.
Oh, there they are.
Oh my god.
Look.
What's the process like of okay, you go to the site, everything's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you do?
It's a very lost feeling. It's not a good feeling. It's, imagine everything stripped away. You don't know what you're doing the next day. You don't know what you're doing the next week. You don't know anything. And
What's the thing that you really were depressed about losing that maybe you didn't expect? But
it wasn't having lost something. It was just not being able to sort of jump back into everything as instantaneously as you do every day.
Mm-hmm.
So for the sake of saving you some time, they basically just talk about how his house burned down for a good 15 minutes of his 20 minutes. And Obviously, you know, if this were a full-fledged podcast, then it would make sense for them to go on about this for a while, but he only has 20 minutes. So, basically, the majority of his time was spent talking about a devastating situation he endured. And to their credit, Ethan and Hila seem like they do care, but immediately after this, they transition swiftly into the talking beanie.
Well, I'm happy that you made it out.
Me too.
I mean, you really saved the most important thing, really.
I agree.
You went and you got the beanie. And
I'm not joking. This really was high on my priority. Not specifically because of you, but because it was the video. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it was for you, Ethan.
Let me try this thing on. Let's see. Let's.
Oh.
Shit.
We got sound effects.
Turn it up, Dan. A small chance exists that I will set on fire and kill anyone who wears me. God bless. I think I did the bit.
Nice. That was good.
Thank you, everyone. Round of applause for the beanie god.
So far they've talked about his house burning down, and he's presented them the beanie. So what's next?
All right, that was great. I had a lot. So, thank you very much. I'll say, William.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So that's it. They just wanted him to come on, talk about his tragedy, and then give him the beanie and get out.
Well, once again, thank you so much, William. And really appreciate you coming out here all the way from Ventura.
Yeah.
You're
You guys
great.
want to come up to Ventura and do shenanigans? We have some shenanigans.
We have shenanigans in Ventura.
I mean, we can come here too, but if you guys have any shenanigan ideas.
Despite making some promises during the podcast,
100%.
Yeah.
I think that we definitely will have some shenanigan ideas. Is this
Yeah, it's going.
there has been no collaboration attempts that I have seen.
Anyway, thank you, dude. God bless. They really appreciate you coming out here.
Thank you.
And it's sad because this is like the perfect YouTuber for them to collaborate with. A nice, fresh-faced up-and-comer who has creative ideas. It would be perfect. But Ethan doesn't care to collaborate with people who are below him. He only looks above. And it's a bad fucking idea because you're gonna end up getting hit hard with a lot of people realizing that you don't care.
All right. God bless, man. Thank you. So I don't know how
All right.
to transition because we don't have a break.
Do I need to leave now?
You don't have to. You want to hang out?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So we've got, let's see, we're moving on. We are moving on to the goddamn frickin' Ian's Beat. This was great.
By the way, did you say that we just posted a video?
We just posted that during the break. What a multi-talented beanie god I am. Thank you.
Do you schedule posts or do you just send them?
No. We never use
I
the
don't
schedule.
plan. There's not enough planning every
So you're
time,
like
so-
videos exported
Yeah.
and it's on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the
that's
most part.
good.
At the best, maybe, well, I don't even say at the best. The only reason I want to post it, I think the beanie's
It's still making
literally about to
noises.
explode.
I think it's
Oh, is it this?
this.
Why you?
Oh, this.
It's not our table.
Well, I don't know. Man. I'm new here.
Yeah, the video's up. But at best, we'll like unlist it overnight because we'll finish at like 10 p.m. and posting isn't really an option.
That's really early.
At 10 p.m.
Yeah.
to finish a video.
Yeah, we pull all-nighters pretty much every
Oh.
single time.
Yeah, we used to do that.
We used to.
But I
we're,
think-
we're trying to be healthier
Yeah, I'm trying to have a life.
and like not do that.